we'd like to say that in our opinion it is not suitable for children or for those of you who may have a nervous disposition.
Used to be one black bin and that with that. Now I've got green ones, blue ones, food bins, bin for your fucking dreams probably. I need a fucking spreadsheet to throw a tea bag away.
Wait for it, you know the score. Wait for it. Hello, I'm treating this as if it's live because I ain't got time to do all the edits. I've done all the research, so I've got all my bits and pieces, prompts and stuff. I'm actually pretty annoyed. Shall we start with Glastonbury? Now I've got something lit up on my little TV here. All right.
Are you enjoying the music?
I'd enjoy it more if I could actually see who was on stage. All these pricks waving their fucking flags about are really starting to piss me off.
Have you taken any illegal substances whilst you've been here?
No, those days are over for me now. The only pills I've been dropping are for my blood pressure.
Are you managing to sleep okay at the festival?
I've not slept for 3 days now, and I've no idea where my fucking tent is anyway.
Did your tent manage okay in the rain last night, sir?
I thought it had leaked this morning when I woke up, but it turned out I'd just pissed myself.
Hi there, can you tell me the story about the crow?
Fucking hell, was that really there? I thought I was hallucinating.
So, I'll put everything on DVD. There's 5 little clips. Glastonbury. What happened to just celebrating music? And what are they saying the average age are under 30 years old there? What a bunch of numbnuts, if they're the future. So there's Rod Stewart, an icon. I think he's done some amazing work through the years. Some pretty shitty stuff, but he's done some, and he builds his own train sets. He's 80 years young, right? And so he came out and said he's supporting Nigel Farage. So when he came on stage, some people started booing him. Then you get reports, depending on what media you look at. Some said his voice has gone, he couldn't hold a note, he should retire. I wonder what side that comes from. And then on the other side, of course, everyone's saying, he's an icon and he's still rocking, which is bloody well good. So I don't get it. So that then leads me on to, bear with me, who are these fucking rappers, right? Who's that fucking idiot? I never even heard of him. I'm speechless at what he actually said. And then you got these fucking flags. The Palestinian flags flying at Glastonbury. This is a British fucking festival, for God's sake. So what did he say? So he said something, didn't he? Oh yeah, death to the IDF. Now him, and then you got them Irish punk band. I wouldn't call them a fucking punk band. Irish punk band, right? Now, the Irish punk band, so we deal with the IDF one, and we wrap that one in together. See how I did that, Les? Wrap them, oh, fuck off. So, oh, God, I wasn't going to swear either. So, basically, both of them, one said, the punk band said, as you know, kill the Prime Minister, or death to the Prime Minister. That's a hate speech right there in front of hundreds of thousands of people. Then the rapper, kill the IDF, that's another a hate speech, because Theresa May brought in the hate speech, believe it or not, to control you all them years earlier when she fucked everything up as well. So you've got them two people on national TV live giving out a hate speech, right? And they're not doing nothing about it. Yet that poor girl, Connolly, right, who did a tweet, I've done this on her before, she did a tweet, it was in the hate speech category. She deleted it before the police even came round. She's got over 30 months. She's got a dependent husband, and she's not a racist because she looks after immigrants that come into the country, right? Hey ho. So there is, I look at that Connolly girl, Lucy Connolly, I think she's now basically a political prisoner in the UK. You do not have free speech. You know you don't have free speech anymore in the UK. So, now you move on to, this is all developed in the last bloody day or two, and I've got my notes here, and I've got other notes. So let's have a look at the next piece from Nigel Farage.
What Sadiq Khan is doing on the 2nd of September in Trafalgar Square is divisive, negative and bad. He's having a Black Day rally where we're going to celebrate black lives and black diversity in London. This is a mistake. Martin Luther King says, you know, I have a dream. One day I have a dream that my 4 children will be judged not for the colour of their skin, but for the content of their character. And what Khan and others are doing, we're now being divided up into different groups. You know, you're in the black group, you're in the Asian group, you're in the gay group, you're in the bi group, you're in the white group. I think it's all a terrible mistake. I think we should all be treated equally in front of the law. We should, as much as possible, have equal opportunities in life. That's never entirely possible because of where we're born and who our parents are. That's the kind of society that is cohesive and work together. And what I really hate more than anything is telling 8-year-old white kids that they are oppressors, that they are guilty somehow for all the sins of the past. And worse still, telling 8-year-old black kids that they're victims. Don't tell people that they're victims. Do not do that.
Would you not agree with that? You don't have to agree with, you don't have to like the Reform Party, but would you not agree with that? Everyone's equal. White people, which I did on a different article a few months ago, white people represent 16% of the world. That's it. That's all we are, 16% of the world. And fuck if I'm going to apologise for things that happened hundreds of years ago. And I did a piece on that, if you remember. And Nelson and his group of sailors were the first to try and stop slavery worldwide. So, Maggie Thatcher. So, I'm getting to Maggie Thatcher. I've got a little clip on her. You have a listen to her. She was good and bad. She is part of what the problem is now with the energy crisis and everything, which we'll get to maybe in a little while. No, I'm going to do that separately. I vowed I wouldn't get into it today. She had a lot to say. But on the Muslims, so you got Sadiq Khan, that fucking arsehole. He's from an immigrant family that came legally. Yes, I get that. But look what he's gone and started to do. Look at London. It's turned into a shithole. An absolute shithole. You don't have to fucking go far on the internet to see what's going on there. Oh, it's disgusting. So, then I watched something else and I had to do my research on that as well. Muslims in the UK only represent, they say, around about 4 million. So they say. They're the legal ones. But then you've got all these mayors in the big cities around now and they got their Sharia law. That's not English law. Then the main shocking one, which I did the research on, was Muslims marrying their first cousins. Now, I am sure, if you had a look, let's do it live, shall we? I'll ask. Is it go to marry your first cousin in the UK? Is it legal? Yeah. Just bear with me. You've got to do the research. So yes, it is currently legal to marry first cousins in the UK. There you go. Right. So we cleared that bit up. But why am I even mentioning marrying? Oh, it's like me marrying Susan, my cousin. She's a lovely girl, but she's my cousin. I grew up with her. Little kids. Got to get this right. So Pakistani men represent 3% of the country, right? That I know. Muslims who marry their first cousins, right? Get this. This is a shocker. So you know, the nearer to your original gene pool, you can get defects. So 33% of all defects in babies in Britain are from these Muslim young men and women that marry each other as first cousins. They reckon it costs billions a year in National Health Service looking after them. 33% from 3%. And do you know why they fucking marry their first cousins? Because they're profit. That fucking dick, and he is. 1300 years ago, married his first cousin. So these fucking assholes are marrying their first cousins and now they're having deformed babies, which account for 33% of the UK's deformities. It's unbloody believable, isn't it? So that's that one. I'm now going to just have a think about it. So I'm now going to move on to Maggie Thatcher and what she thought. See, this is also going back to people who wanted to stay in the EU. We never voted to go into the EU in the first place. Our parents and grandparents voted to go into the common market, and she's not this speech, but she has said this before in speeches. We did not join that European corrupt company called the EU. Yeah, we didn't. Now we're left. And we left, but don't get me going on the Brexit deal, because Boris and his guys fucked it all up. This could have been a sweet deal that turned... And now you've got Keir Starmer, who in a speech before he became Prime Minister, remember, he turned round and he said, I will realign the UK with the EU and they won't even know I'm doing it. And he's doing it right now. Even Walker's Crisps, the smoky bacon, they're having to change the flavour because it doesn't set in with the same guidelines in Europe. If that's not being controlled by Europe. Anyway, let's have a quick listen to Maggie Thatcher and all these illegals. It's coming. Patience.
Illegal immigrants have to be returned to their country of origin. His right honourable gentleman is suggesting that we ever get to a position when you cannot return illegal immigrants to their country of origin, then he is proposing international chaos.
She was bloody right. She did a lot of things that weren't right. If she... I'd have a picture of that woman on my wall. If I didn't... I made a lot of money under her in the 80s, no two ways about it. I worked hard and I played hard, but I earned a lot of money under her. I do worry that she sold off so much of the assets, including all your nuclear plants. I'm getting to that in a separate news show because that's horrific. But she was right. Now, I'm going to move on to Katie Hopkins. You can love or hate. I think she's pretty cool. She's, as I said in previous episodes, she's been pushed through the ringer so many times, sued, lost a home, and as I told you before, she has a different name to her kids and her husband, and she's never been to any of their schooling shows or anything because of the fear of reprisals. This is in the UK, for God's sake. Tommy Rumps, another perfect example. Have you noticed with like her and him, they always called them far right racist people, which they never were. She even had to move to America for a while. Freedom. Where was I going with that? Anyway, so basically what they were saying then, that they called racist then, people are actually now saying it. But they're not racist, but these are. So have a look what all these illegals now, so I'm leading on to the illegal side of people coming into the UK. And this is her speaking after she printed it out from a government website. And this is your fucking money, by the way. It's coming.
It's because your government, the British government, are you wondering why so many migrants are trying to come across the Channel, one of the biggest shipping lanes in the whole of the world? Well, it's because of this. It's because your government, the British government, advertises to these asylum seekers what you'll get. Let me tell you what you'll get if you're an asylum seeker in the UK, whether you're actually an asylum seeker or whether you were perfectly safe in France, for example. You'll get somewhere to live, a cash allowance or both. You can choose whether you want a flat, a house, a hostel or bed and breakfast. How lovely is that? I wonder if we serve it to them in bed. I do hope so. Cash support, you'll get £37.75 for every person in your household to help you pay for things like food, clothing and toiletries. I am actually reading this from the government website. Your allowance will be loaded onto a debit card each week to make it easy for you to spend what you want to spend. Isn't that nice? And even if you've been refused asylum seeker, you're a failed asylum seeker in my country, your country, you'll be given somewhere to live and £35.39 per person on a payment card. This is what we're handing out, and then we go on to tell them you may get free National Health Service, such as to see a doctor or get hospital treatment. You'll get free prescriptions for medicine, free eye tests, free glasses. I ask you, as a British citizen, as someone that's paid in all their lives, do you get free prescriptions? Have you been offered a free place to live or somewhere that gives you bed and breakfast? Have you been offered £300 maternity payment just because you're having a baby? I thought not. These are people who are here often illegally, and this is what we promised them. And is it any wonder that they choose to come? This country is a soft touch. It's time we started standing up for the British nationals who live here and our ex-service personnel who were offered nothing like this, nothing of the sort. In March 2018, close to 50,000 people were in receipt of these kind of benefits. Stop making our country a joke. Start standing up for our own.
No, as my South African friend, I stopped him in time. You get where that's going to finish. She's right. Where's the outcry, honestly? So, I wasn't going to mention it, but I am. My friends in the UK from Lowestoft. So, I got some of my posts deleted about this MP for Lowestoft, right? Every time I go on about it, people go, oh, you're just going over the same old ground. Lowestoft, what a fucking shithole. I'm sorry if you think it's not. It is. It's now going to lead me on to they don't look up. A few of my friends do, because we do correspond. But I'm going to show you, I might have to do it from here. I'm going to show you some pictures, right? Yes, pictures that were sent to me of a Lowestoft. Spraying. So this one, someone actually, I don't know if you can see that. That is spraying up in there. That's the way it's wisping around. That's not a fucking cloud, right? So someone said, what a lovely evening of a Lowestoft. Oh, for God's sake. Fucking lovely evening, my bloody arse. So, there's another one. My friend sent me. Oh dear, I've lost it. You can see I haven't planned this, eh? So let's just go into my Facebook account. So, I'm leading on to the chemtrails now, alright? So the chemtrails were, which was last week, so you have to bear with me. Oh, I'm not going to show it now. So she sent me a picture. She said, I took this about 4 years ago, and it's a lovely sunset again, and you've got all these chemtrails crisscrossing over. I had a mate sent me the other day after he watched the chemtrail video on YouTube, and he said, Gary, I see it. He said, I do night shift, and on the way home, I see it in the morning. The planes flying over in the same area, spraying. That leads me on to, yes, we did last week, and I did talk about in the news show about the chemtrails and what they're doing, and how this Miliband and all these fucking nut jobs putting these solar panels in, while at the same time they're now going to dim the sun down. It's going to cost you 66 million quid to start dimming it down. So I thought, yes, Britain represents 0.16% of the total landmass in the world. And you're gonna be at the forefront of dimming the sun down, 0.16%. Then I looked at people like Bill Gates, right? I'm going there. Him and his cronies are buying up all this farmland, right? They're still chopping trees down. I thought, chopping trees down? Hang on. So they want to spray the outer atmosphere because that's going to be good for us. And at the same time, all my stuff I'm watching about the farmers here, they try to put a fart tax on them. And I saw the farmland, right? There's no fucking trees anywhere. This country has chopped down 95% of all its rainforests. But it's not just here, it's worldwide. Forests. Let's go through to the other room, shall we? I've got it all out ready, and I'll just read it out as the stats actually are. So while we're spraying, because we've got all this bad climate change, and I don't disagree we've got climate change, but do you think it's the cars and fossil fuel and cows, or do you think because we're cutting down the lungs of this planet, which I was taught about at school? And I remember at a rate at school they were telling me, and this is a teacher teaching us young kids, right, science and the facts of life, basically, that we were cutting down at a rate of I'm sure it was every day, but I'll put it every week, so it sounds too fantastic. One a week, the equivalent of Wales. We're cutting down rainforests, one a week, the equivalent of the size of Wales, as in Wales. Not the Wales, Wales. Yeah, Wales. Is Wales? Yeah, Wales. I know it's Wales. Drink time. I'll let that sink in. And that was, what, 50 years ago. If you have palm oils and anything like that, They cut down forests for the palm oils. So I figured when I did my chemtrails last week and I said, yes, we do contribute and yes, things do need to change. I then was laying in bed in the middle of the night, just everything ticking over again. I've got a tree out there that's carbon based. I don't have to feed it anything, but it actually sucks all the CO2 out of the air and gives me oxygen back. And in return, it grows. And they've proved, and they put CO2 into greenhouses now so the plants grow quicker because they absorb what's in the air. So, question, while I then show you this. Why the fuck is Bill Gates and all his cronies doing solar panels, spraying and all this stuff, but not planting trees? That led me to thinking, there's no profit in a tree, is there? Think about it. So Bill Gates, by spraying, someone makes the chemicals, someone's in the plane, someone sells it, and someone gets employed, and they're all making money. High-end earners, right? Billionaires, basically. So they're earning all this fucking money from all this spraying and all this shit, just like he tries with all his vaccinations, which we know was wrong. But why aren't he planting trees? I spoke to one of my clients the other day. I said, you know, I came to the conclusion, if I plant a tree in the ground, that's it. Little tree, that's it. It's going to grow into a big tree in a forest, and it's going to suck out all this CO2, and we're going to have green and pleasant lands again, but there's no profit in it. So, if you don't believe the stats, so I had a look. So, forests absorb vast amount of CO2. There you go. It's there in black and white. I'll just go with the summary. You can do your own research, right? So, global deforestation crisis contributes significantly to climate instability. Climate change. It's not the fucking fossil fuels. Mass extinctions, we know that. War and flood insecurity. Hey ho! And then it goes cultural and human rights violations as well. Public health risks. Of course it is, because all the fucking CO2's gone. Well, it's up there, isn't it? So why aren't they planting trees? I would put it to you that they're not planting trees because there's no fucking profit in it. And they don't actually care. So that brings me on to Jeff Bezos. $200 million for his wedding. If you don't see what the fuckery fuck is wrong with that, there's something fucking wrong with you. 200 million, Les. 200 million. What the fuck you could do to help people? Just people. We've got 50,000 kids in New Zealand alone that are under the poverty line that go to bed hungry every night. You've got about 4 million in the UK, kids that go hungry at night. This is true stats. Do your own research. All right? Yet he chose to spend 200 million because he's worth it. What he should do is be taxed to the fuckery fuck. I did a piece on him about 2 years ago. Did the research, and it came out, and this was a big shock back then, but because they're so powerful now, it goes beyond money. They're literally powerfuler than a government. They pay anybody and anybody off, right? His secretary, his personal secretary, was on a higher tax bracket than he was. He paid more, but he turned around and said, oh, I pay $100 million in tax. But in proportion to his wage, it's fucking minuscule. And he treats his workers like fucking shit, the Amazon people. Because there's a big piece on it where they didn't leave their workstation for 8 hours and they had to piss in a bottle. He then got them all to sign a contract that basically turned around and said, if you say anything about us to the press, you're sacked. Some of them are on a job on a low wage that don't actually have a fucking home to go to. He's a disgusting human being. So him and people like he'll have to have another beer. I ain't really swore, Les, eh? Not really. I ain't lost the plot today. I've been losing the plot at night, I have to say. So people like him, you tell me if I'm wrong in the comments, right? People like him should be taxed the fuckery fuck out of life so they never become... When I grew up as a kid, there wasn't such thing as a billionaire. You shouldn't be able to be a billionaire. Governments should protect us from people like him and people like Bill Gates. And then Bill Gates, with all his vaccine and everything else, he then did his 2-part series, Bill Gates and conspiracy people, and how they damn him through his vaccines and the good work that he does. He paid for that. I watched it, and that was an absolute load of shit that people will fucking believe. So, they're too powerful. They buy off. But do you know how powerful these people are? The Rockefellers, you can do your research. They found all this gooey black stuff called oil, and they needed to make it so scientists could say what it was something different than it was. It's fossil fuel and it's going to run out. So they paid these people to call these scientists. The scientists get bought off to say it's fossil fuel. Now it's fossil fuel and it's running out. I don't see it running out. There's more and more fucking cars this last 50 years since I've been on the road, and I see a big gas guzzler now, and it doesn't seem to be running out. So you look at these people. Jeff Bezos, $200 million for a wedding. I can't get my head around all this fucking shit. And everyone, the media, because the media are bought off. He buys the media to write pieces nicely about him. Same with Bill Gates and all the others. We're fucked. We're fuckery fucked. I don't know whether you agree with me or not. I seem to be in a minority. I even get in touch with friends and I send them my piece and they don't even look at it. They look at it, but they don't actually reply, not even a thumbs up. That led me on to thinking about Facebook. Facebook's a funny old place. I wish it realistically didn't exist, because I had a lot of friends when I was at school, and now I was in touch with a few that were falling out again through Facebook and we're not even met. And I've only hanging on to a few now, like Simon Wilgoss. So Simon Wilgoss, that was his, and it's his signature there, Simon Wilgoss. He's a very good mate, right? I haven't seen him since I was about 20 years old. I wonder what he's getting up to, and I hope he's still the same chap, because we were very alike. We were very naughty. We were very, very naughty at school. Oh, the poor teachers. Anyway, especially at middle school. No, at primary school, we sat together and Mr. Stone would have us sitting down in front. When we're good, we can go back to our desks at the back. At middle school, this guy stopped the whole class once and said, "You two are baby fatheads." So we started laughing, right? But what the fuck's a baby fathead? And he said, "Now you're going to say it to the whole class, both of you. I'm a baby fathead." And then Simon said, "I'm a baby fathead." And we looked at each other and we started laughing again. He gave up on us in the end. But point being, for me with him, I wonder what he's getting up to. He's not on Facebook. And I still just have fond memories. Whereas some of the others now in the same class, I think, what a fucking dickhead. That leads me on to when I message people just to see how they are. And then they look at it and I do a nice kind little letter. Isn't that what Facebook's supposed to be about? Reconnecting. And then they look at it and they don't even put a like, a comment, nothing. Fuck them. I'm done with them. I'm done with all of them. I'm fed up thinking about other people. So we're going to now finish. I think you already know. My little South African friend. So we will just finish with a recap. Trees. Why aren't they planting trees? Why are they spraying instead? Suck the fuck out of the CO2. We get all these lovely green plants. Don't get it. I do get it. Because there's no profit in planting a tree, is there? So, Bezos, you know what that's all about. Hello, Milo. My son's dog. Hello. You don't have to worry about that. You just have to worry about having a shit every morning. Anyway, let's have a little look and finish with my South African friend. And what joke have you got for me today? Oh, my South African friend. Give us the joke, make it quick.
Hi, Gary. 3 bodies turn up at the undertakers, and they all got smiles on their faces. Cop comes in and he says to the undertaker, says, why's the first one got a smile on their face?
Yeah.
And he turns around and he says, oh, well, he was busy with his sweetheart. His wife was at home,
Don't tell it to me. Tell it to Jay. I've heard it.
Okay. And his wife was at home, and during the evening got to such heights that he had a heart attack and died. But he was happy. I says, okay, and the second one? He says, the second one, he won lotto this week. And unfortunately, a lot of alcohol poisoning, and he died, but he died happy. And the third one? He says, well, that's a bit of a different one. This is Paddy from Dublin. He was struck by lightning. I says, what the hell? What do you mean he struck by lightning? Oh, what's he to smile about that? He says, well, he thought he was having his photo taken.
I didn't find it that funny either.
He had a good laugh on it.
He's a good laugh, he is. He's a devout, was it Seventh-day Adventist Christian? But lovely man. Lovely man. I'm just going to finish then. I found the photograph. So this is how people don't actually look up or see what's going on. So I'm not going to mention his name, but he posted a picture on, and he doesn't watch his show because they always look down. They're too interested in what's in their scooter than they do to see what's going on in the planet. But they just sold their house. It's a lovely house. And they put a nice picture saying, bye bye house. But look at the house. See that? That is a result of spraying. Mass spraying. But hey ho, that's where I don't get it. So this is the picture. She's a very good photographer. She's a good friend of mine. So I got cut off because this new GoPro, the battery wasn't fully charged. You hear in the background, I'm going to get to that in a minute. Just to finish off on, so Mel sent me that picture, right? And you can see 1, 2, 3, where else? There's a couple more in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5. This was taken a few years ago when they telling you they weren't spraying. No, can you hear what's in the background? Follow me. Just to finish off on, because we're running over. So this is, please watch it, right? It's Wondrous Oblivion. It's about a Jewish family and then some, I think they're Jamaican family moved next door to them, and people down the street didn't like the black people that moved into the area because they said they brought squalor and blah blah blah, which they didn't. What I'm saying, the Jamaicans, so it's the Windrush generation, isn't it? This is what this is about. They brought so much culture. I mean, you know, I'm a big ska fan, and they brought ska, reggae, originally. That's ska. That's original ska music, and I love ska music. So there is, immigration does work when they bring good stuff to your country. It's like Maggie Thatcher, they're bringing the bad stuff in, does not work. If you can watch it, please do. It's a brilliant, brilliant little film, and it shows how we can all mix in when we integrate properly and not trying to assimilate. Hey, so that's it. Handheld right now, green screen. Just make a comment if you feel you can. I'm done. I've had a few more beers since I last finished. This damn GoPro, eh? All that money. The battery was flat. Anyway, that's it. You have a good one. I think we should finish with another joke. One of these made up. You'd see the beginning. So they are made up. They're AI type graphics, basically, but they got really, really good at it. And I refuse at the moment to pay to change everything. I do in my Gary's... it's called Gazzers Lambretta Journey, and I do change my face a little bit into a cartoon, but these have got really good, eh? So when I get too old to be on camera, I'll just go to a CGI. Have a good one. Have a think. Look up and question everything.
And what's one thing you'd change about the local council, sir?
I want me fucking wheelie bin taken away more than twice a fucking fortnight.
Sorry about that.
And what's one thing you'd change about the UK right now?
I'm paying 80 pence for a plastic fucking bag in Morrison's. It's an absolute fucking liberty take.
Apologies about that. Will you be voting in the next local election?
Not a fucking chance. They are all lying shit houses.
Yeah, we do apologise for that. What's one thing you'd change about the NHS?
I've had a water infection for 2 weeks and I can't get past the bitch of a receptionist on the phone. I'm pissing razor blades.
And what would you like the council to improve for you?
Housing is a fucking piss take. I've been on the list since I was 26. I'm 72 now.
Thank you.
And what's something you'd like the council to improve?
I've more chance of catching gonorrhea than a bus round here. They never show up.
Oh dear. And what do you think of the state of the roads around here?
Put it this way, it rained the other day. I saw someone doing lengths in a pothole.
Right, thank you.
And what do you think we could improve in Britain?
I pay over £100 a year for a TV licence and there's nothing on the thing unless you like Homes Under the Hammer.